Hi everybody, it's Levy coming to you from Portland, Oregon, bringing you a dash of Eve. Last month, I put together a program for the Jewish women of Portland called Shabbat in a Flash. At first, I wanted to do it mainly for selfish reasons. You know, even though I've been keeping Shabbat for the majority of my life, it does not come easily. I'm going to be honest with you. The preparation for Shabbat is more often than not quite overwhelming and exhausting and very stressful. And I know deep down that mitzvot have to be done with joy, especially if we want to pass them on to the next generation. So I threw myself into this project. I was pulling inspiration and wisdom from friends and family and Jewish sources. I was loving it. And as I was working on this project, I was feeling very uplifted and I was getting excited for the upcoming Shabbat. The tips and the tidbits of inspiration, they were working on me in such a beautiful way. It's been completely transformative for my own Shabbat observance. The last couple of weeks have been great. I'm buying beautiful flowers, things are much calmer and enjoyable, and I'm actually gearing up for it all week. So this event was a huge success, thank God, and I really realized how this topic spoke to women from all different backgrounds in Judaism. Women were able to share their favorite parts of Shabbat and their biggest challenges in making Shabbat. Women that were observant and not yet observant, Reformed, conservative, Orthodox, everyone came together so beautifully. And it was clear to me that we all had a couple things in common. We all want to connect to this day in a deep and meaningful way. We all want to elevate Shabbat in the best way we possibly can, and we all want to embrace Shabbat in our own way and share the love of Judaism with our loved ones. Shabbos is a gift. In any language, in any country, throughout civilizations and generations, Shabbat has kept our people connected to one another, to our heritage, and to our Creator. It has been a source of strength to the entire Jewish people. There's a famous saying that goes, "More than the Jews have kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jews." During the 25 hours of Shabbat, we literally unshackle ourselves from the weekday mentality, and we're left with a completely different and elevated existence. For me, Shabbat is my charging station. It keeps me sane. It's worth all the effort. It says in the book of Exodus, 6 days shall your work be done, and the 7th day shall be holy for you. God entrusted the Jewish nation with a day whereby we're able to cease from our business of this world and relax, recharge, and invigorate ourselves for the upcoming week. The Midrash goes into great detail describing how precious Shabbat is to Hashem, to God, and how excited the heavenly world became when God gave this gift to the Jewish nation. One thing that is really important for us to remember is that Shabbat will not just happen. You can't just run into Shabbat, light your candles, and you've arrived. It doesn't work like that. What you put in, you get out. Our sages teach us that he who prepares and works on Erev Shabbat, before Shabbat, will have what to eat on Shabbat. This is in the Gemara of Avodah Zarah 3a. We need to prepare for Shabbat, and that takes effort. It takes planning and energy. However, the reward and the sense of accomplishment that we receive from Shabbat is beyond our comprehension. The great sage Hillel would spend each day of the week counting up towards Shabbat. And on each day, he would do something in preparation for the Shabbat. In fact, in our daily prayers, we mention each day in reference to Shabbat. When we spend our week investing towards Shabbat, keeping our best delicacies to be enjoyed for Shabbos, our best clothes to be worn on Shabbos, then Shabbos becomes the highest point of the week. It's the highlight. Shabbos is known to be the Makor HaBracha, the source of all blessing. Shabbat has a major impact on the rest of the week. One of my teachers, Rav Shimshon Pincus, compared Shabbos to a storekeeper who sold various goods, and he would close his store one day a week. The owner would use this day to go to the market and purchase the stock that he would use to sell in his store. In a similar vein, we believe that all of our physical things comes through the spiritual world. Once a week, we cease from our work in order to allow ourselves to restock our spiritual selves. The more we invest into Shabbat, the more it will overflow into our week and our life. Because of the importance of Shabbat and the challenges that come with it, with not cooking on Shabbat, you have to be so prepared, buying everything in advance, just being so organized. I'm not very organized. It's ideal to plan your week with Shabbat at the focal point, the highlight. And how do we do this? So here's one approach. It's not really working so well for me, but I'm working on it. And I want to share it with you. If we're putting Shabbat as the highlight of our week, then when Shabbat ends and then we go into the next week, we start Monday, inviting guests. Tuesday, maybe making your menu. Wednesday, doing your grocery shopping. Thursday, doing the cooking, right? And it could be you want to freeze and cook earlier in the week, but Thursday is cooking for Shabbos. And Friday, ideally, we should just do the last minute touches and we should actually rest up. And then it's Shabbos. And we sit back and we enjoy and we connect and we stop doing to just be. The world will keep turning without you. I know it's shocking. Shabbos means rest. Just let it all go. Sunday, I start putting away all the stuff from Shabbat, unloading the dishwasher, putting everything away, and we're using all that energy to go into the next week. The Jewish woman has the unique power to bring the beauty of Shabbat into her home. When she's excited about something, everyone's excited. When she's down, everyone is down. A woman is contagious. There is no doubt in my mind that the Jewish woman's thirst for spirituality is what is keeping the Jewish people surviving and thriving. Our matriarch Sarah paved the way for us. In her tent, she always had the candles lit from one Shabbat to the next. There was a blessing in her dough, and there was a cloud that hung over her tent, showing God's divine presence in her life and in her home. When Sarah died, the home was not the same. It was dark and cold. There was no light of the Shabbat candles, no delicious aroma of fresh baked bread, and there was no cloud hovering over the tent. It was devastating. But as soon as Sarah's son Yitzchak brings his wife Rivka into the tent, she rekindles the light of Shabbat. She makes the chalot, and she brings the holiness back into the home. And the three miracles reappear. Till this day, Sarah lives on through each and every Jewish woman. I once heard Rebbetzin Yemima Mizrahi say that the word Shabbat comes from the words shh-bat. It's okay, my daughter. Calm down. Abba, your Father in heaven, is here for you. I'm with you. Shh-bat. So comforting. It is my sincere prayer that we see and appreciate the gift that God has given us. Shabbat Shalom.